right, let's move on to this topic, dude, because this was a wild story. So you guys know, for years, Jason was in some sort of legal battle. It was the rights owners. It was the original screenwriter Victor Miller fighting with Horror Inc., the people who produced the movie, and the legal battle. I don't even know if we need to get into it anymore, but basically, if once the legal battle was over, it's like the rights to Jason Voorhees got split into two. And when that split happened, it just screamed panic for the fans because it's like, oh, why would these guys who were fighting for years want to then come to agree and make new Jason content for us? Well, it looks like that time has finally come and we are getting the stepping stones. We know one of the first steps is the whatchamacallit, the A24 Friday 13th show that we're going to get, where the first season is going to be with I forget her name already, Linda Cardellini, Velma, and she'll be playing Pamela Voorhees. And it's rumored that they have plans, or at least the original plan before they fired the showrunner, is we would get to seasons where Jason would be the classic Jason we know. But just like in the movie, it took 3 movies before Jason became classic Jason. So I'm assuming it's going to take at least 3 seasons of this, or 2, before Jason becomes classic Jason. And we have to deal with a season of Pamela Voorhees, which I don't mind. I think Pamela is an interesting character. I wouldn't mind seeing explored, especially to see how she raises little Jason, right? Okay. All that said, though, there is now that they have figured out the rights situation with Jason, the whole point of the legal battle and the whole reason this was even an argument is because, hey, we know this guy's a moneymaker, so let's make some money. And that's essentially what the Jason universe is. That's what I want to make clear here, that what we got. This Jason universe is not a cinematic universe. It's not a Marvel universe. It's not even like what they tried to do with the Dark Universe and Tom Cruise and the Mummy. Jason universe is a brand. Wait, what we're staring at right now is the equivalent of looking at the Coca-Cola logo. What we're looking at right here is a Mountain Dew logo, is Pepsi logo. It's a logo. It's a brand. It's not a cinematic universe. And the reason I'm explaining that is because it's so weird, this first look they announced for Jason. So let me pull that up here for you guys while we got it. Okay, Bloody Disgusting. We'll have it. They're always the ones, and we'll talk about that photo in a second. Okay. So Bloody Disgusting here kind of summed it up best for us with the first look of this new Jason. Here they have it. The Friday 13th rights holders over at Jason Universe have unveiled their brand new Jason Voorhees redesign. With this new version of Jason, they will lead movies, gaming, immersion experiences, collectibles, and more. Makeup effects legend Greg Nicotero helped with the redesign. And so this is what's kind of the confusing part, because usually when we get our first look at something, like when we got our first look at Sonic, or we got our first look at what Mario looked like in the movie, it's what he's going to look like in the film, in the TV. What they've essentially revealed here for us is, hey, this is the brand new look to the Monopoly Man. Or the guy on the Peanuts. This is our new redesign for our mascot on the Peanuts. This is what this is. It's our redesign, and it's going to be our logo version of Jason Voorhees that we're going to put on T-shirts, on stickers, on iPhone cases, on statues, and this will be the Jason you'll be able to buy and explore. And that's why there's just so many interesting things about this announcement. So for one, like, my mind goes, they do mention, yes, they want to make movies. And I've mentioned that to you guys before, which I've completely ruined my relationship with these Friday 13th people. Whenever they first announced the Friday 13th stuff, I made a little YouTube video and I talked about this big Jason Universe situation. Just pull it up for you guys, not have to play it or anything. But this video got the attention of the people there, where they emailed me and we had a video chat conversation. And I thought it was like something exciting. What it turned out being is, hey, we noticed you have a large audience. You have a lot of horror fans. We're trying to sell T-shirts, buttons, and all this stuff. Can we use you? I didn't get that at first, but that's what they basically wanted me to be, which is probably why I haven't heard from them, because they've been sending me like collectibles and merchandise, and they're like, hey, can you make a video about this pin that we made for the Jason universe? And I'm like, no. Announce a movie or show me a first look at a TV show, then you'll get a video. I promise you that. And so then they stopped sending me and asking me for stuff. But they did tell me during that video chat call, because I asked, I was like, so when are we getting? So like, I'm like, it's too bad you guys can't make a movie. And the girl was like, oh, we're gonna make a movie and we're working on it, but I can't say much. And I was like, oh, and now they're finally admitting it here. They do want to make a movie. Okay, so with this design, how does that work then if this is now the official Jason for that we're gonna get? Now, there has been backlash with this design. People do not like it. So let's pull up like classic Jason, just classic Jason Voorhees, right? And you will, it doesn't feel all that distinct, but you will notice it. For one, take a look at the amount of holes on the hockey mask. They wanted to make it more, in connection with the how to say it, with the world being Friday the 13th. And now there are only 13 holes on the mask. So if you count all the holes, it's only 13. So it's a lot less than what we usually get. And I think all these different tweaks and designs are very purposeful, are very calculated, because the rights to Jason are just so niche that they have to make a very specific version of Jason, and then that's the Jason they can use in movies, TV shows, and all this stuff. So the 13 holes, okay, fine. If you want to do that, I guess that's kind of cool. I don't know. It gives me like 13 stripes on the American flag kind of vibe. It's, why is there 13 stripes? Why is there 13 holes on Jason? Well, there you go. The part I don't like about this is the eyes. The eyes are so like almost squarish. They look almost like sunglasses eyes, right? Like if I well, these aren't sunglasses, but like these kind of, like that's the kind of shape that they give off. Is like their glasses. And if you notice, all the other designs are more circular. It's just a plain old circle there and there. And even the mask itself is usually a lot more round. And with the mask that they've come out with now, it's more like almost like an egg shape. It's like a, and so it's just weird. As far as the rest of the body goes, I'm fine with it. If anything, it kind of just reminds me of the Jason from the 2009 reboot. There's classic little button ups, the dirty T-shirt, the machete is there, and boots and pants. That's fine. Some people like, as Jason went on, he got a lot more scruffier and dirtier. And then there's those crazy versions of Jason with like Jason X and all that stuff. I'm trying to find different photos here. So I'm okay with that. But again, fans are not in love with this. Fans are not happy with it. They keep talking about the mask, and see some people here say Casey Jones knockoff. I'm trying to see what others pull up. They did a good edit. I think these are the people who did the Friday 13th fan film, Never Hike Alone and Jason Rising, that you can watch right now. They did a good edit of the mask that makes a whole lot of difference. It's still not perfect and amazing, but just rounding out the eyes, going completely black, rounding out the mask, dude, that's Jason. That's like that's a nice little redesign right there. That would have worked a lot better than what they ended up coming out with in this. Like, I don't know, this does give me Casey Jones vibes. It gives me like, I don't know, guy who's about to rob a liquor store kind of vibe. It's like, give me all your money, or like the mask they wear in Heat. That movie. This, I feel like it just reminds me of classic Jason Voorhees. That's what I'd get from it. So, okay, but now getting back to the other issues at hand with this. So, with this also, they say this is the Jason then that'll be in movies, gaming, immersion experiences, collectibles, and all that. So, is every Jason gonna look identical throughout games and movies? I feel like that's kind of weird, and that takes away some of the creative liberties you could have. Because let's say tomorrow they announced, I don't know, James Wan is doing a Friday 13th reboot. Well, wouldn't James Wan want to help the redesign of Jason from the ground up and give a Jason that fits in with his version of the movie? How is that going to work when they're like, oh, no, you actually can't do that. Legally, you have to use this version. This is the only version of Jason we're allowed to use. So make a movie around this guy. And same thing for a video game, because they said they want to make new Jason video games. The Jason in the movies and the Jason in the game would have to look exactly the same. I don't know. It just creates all this kind of stuff where it's like, why is this being done that way? And it is kind of sad to just see Jason like we just want a movie. We just want to see this guy out there, and now he's just become this brand. He's basically become this mascot, this, like I said, the Monopoly guy or the peanut guy. So let me see what you guys are saying. As long as this is the base template, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, like maybe you're right. Maybe this is just the base template and they can do things off there. Because if you think about it, the way he came off in multiverses, because right, let's look up Jason Voorhees multiverses. That was a pretty, kind of exaggerated design, and they had a little bit more fun with it. Oh, they also do the 13 hole thing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so no, it's still not 13 holes, but this was a pretty exaggerated design, and this was in partnership with the Jason universe, and it was before they announced their official like look of what Jason has to look like. So this feels more like Jason from the older movies. But then again, copyright is different in video games and TV shows and movies, so maybe that's just the way it was able to be used. But hey, some people here saying I love it. Some people do say it does seem a bit off. Yeah, and stuff like that. To me, yeah, RIP multiverses. I agree. RIP multiverses. That was kind of game was fun for like 2 weeks for me, but whatever. Um, so that's what's kind of been going on, and that's what I'm trying to get some people to understand because they see the word Jason Universe and they assume it's like all one giant connected thing when no, it's just the brand. That's just what they're calling it now. That's just and also people have brought up none of this stuff references Friday the 13th, you know? So I wonder if that's also part of the legal issue or how they split the money that maybe when we get another Jason movie, it might not be called Friday the 13th. It'll probably be called Jason Voorhees or it'll be called Jason. Because yes, the Bloody Disgusting article here calls it Friday the 13th rights, but never did the Jason universe people ever say Friday the 13th. They never bring that up. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. Yeah, let's see here what people say. They might let people, directors, or someone give them more money to help redesign Jason for their media. That's what I would think. This is probably an evolving design. Every redesign always looks weird. If you were new to Friday 13th, you'd think the original was weird. Yeah, you're probably right. What would you guys rather see? A new Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday 13th? Personally, Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger has always been my favorite slasher. But that's another character where I have no idea why they're not doing anything because he's not holed up in any legal issues. It's just the Wes Craven estate who own the rights. They just have to partner up with Warner Brothers and make a movie, and they haven't done that yet for some reason. They should though. So yeah, that's what's been going on with Jason. We'll see what happens and what occurs. I don't mind this design all that much. I'm just like I said, it's just funny to see them. Hey, here's our new Jason. Oh, cool. So he's gonna be in the movie. He's gonna be on a T-shirt. That's what you wanted, right? Yeah.